The plains of Troy, a blood-soaked battlefield stretching endlessly under a mournful sky. Black smoke billows from distant pyres, painting the horizon with the grim reminders of war. 9 years of brutal conflict etched into the weary faces of both Greek and Trojan soldiers. Silent armies stand, a testament to the relentless, unforgiving cost of war. Inside Agamemnon's tent, anticipation hangs heavy as Greek leaders gather. Sunlight illuminating dust motes. Menelaus shifts, fury barely contained, eager for retribution as discussions fill the tent. The air crackles with the weight of their decision. The narration speaks, highlighting the gravity of the moment. A duel between Paris and Menelaus is proposed, a desperate gamble to end the long war. Hector, armored and regal, stands defiant before the towering walls of Troy, his gaze piercing. A gesture towards the battlefield speaks volumes of sacrifice, a stark reminder etched in the dust. Remember the thousands who have died because of your actions, Paris. Accept the duel, Hector commands. Paris shrinks, terror twisting his features under the weight of Hector's words and the impending duel. Two vast armies pull back, leaving behind a swirling cloud of dust that hangs heavy in the air. Paris and Menelaus step forward, their figures distinct against the desolate, churned earth. Paris's armor gleams, reflecting the sun's harsh glare, yet his steps falter, betraying doubt. Menelaus advances with unwavering resolve, his every movement radiating strength and purpose. The tension is palpable as they meet, the fate of armies resting on their shoulders. A silent challenge passes between them, the prelude to a duel of honor and vengeance. On the neutral ground, Menelaus roars, hurling his spear with all his might towards Paris. The spear pierces Paris's shield, a testament to Menelaus's strength. Startled, Paris throws his spear, a desperate attempt against the warrior. Menelaus effortlessly deflects the attack, revealing the stark difference in skill. Menelaus raises his sword, the sunlight turning the steel into a blinding beacon of impending doom. The sword crashes down on Paris's helmet with earth-shattering force, the sound echoing across the battlefield. Metal buckles and shatters, sending shards spiraling through the air like deadly confetti. Paris staggers, his eyes wide with shock, a dazed disbelief clouding his features. Helpless and vulnerable, he stands as the echoes of the blow reverberate around him. On the neutral ground, Menelaus seizes Paris, his grip tightening on the helmet crest. Paris struggles, his hands clawing at Menelaus's arm, a desperate fight for air. Dragged mercilessly, Paris's feet flail, kicking up dust in a futile attempt to gain purchase. Menelaus's face is a mask of fury as he hauls Paris towards the awaiting Greek lines. The sounds of Paris's choked gasps echo across the battlefield, a stark prelude to his fate. On the neutral ground, tension hangs heavy as Aphrodite intervenes. With divine intervention, she snaps the chin strap of Paris's helmet. The leather gives way, a subtle act with monumental implications. Menelaus grasps the helmet, now freed, a prize of hollow victory. The battlefield watches, the balance of power shifting with a broken strap. On the neutral ground, the clash of armies halts as a strange stillness falls over the battlefield. Aphrodite gestures, and a dense mist begins to coalesce, swirling with otherworldly grace. The mist thickens rapidly, obscuring Paris from view, rendering him a phantom amidst the chaos. With ethereal gentleness, Aphrodite lifts Paris, her touch as light as the mist itself. He vanishes completely, spirited away from the battle, leaving only the swirling mist behind. On the neutral ground, Menelaus whirls, eyes blazing as he hunts for Paris. Confusion erupts among the Greeks, their shouts echoing across the field. The Trojan ranks stand frozen, an ocean of stunned silence washing over them. A palpable tension hangs in the air, thick with uncertainty and unspoken dread. Aphrodite's tender care envelops Paris as she guides him towards his bed, his battle-worn frame still trembling. Dust clings to Paris's garments, a stark reminder of the battlefield's chaos. Gentle hands guide him down, a silent promise of safety. He succumbs to the softness of the bed, a haven from the clamor of war. His eyes reflect the lingering echoes of battle, a haunting vision of what he has endured. Aphrodite watches over him, her presence a shield against the darkness that threatens to consume him. High atop Olympus, Aphrodite smirks, a mischievous glint in her eyes as she surveys the pandemonium below. The other gods, lounging on their celestial perches, watch the unfolding chaos with detached amusement. Her beauty is radiant, but her intentions are devious as she observes the mortals' reactions. The air crackles with divine energy, a testament to the goddess's power and the chaos she wields. Sunlight floods Helen's chambers, revealing tapestries and ornate furniture, a deceptive calm before the storm. Aphrodite appears, radiant and ethereal, her presence filling the room with otherworldly light. Helen recoils, fear etched on her face as she confronts the goddess's sudden arrival. Aphrodite's command echoes, a decree that shatters the morning's peace. You will go to Paris. Helen's defiant refusal hangs in the air. No, I refuse. Helen hesitantly steps into Paris's bedroom, her expression a mix of reluctance and apprehension. Paris looks up, his eyes reflecting a complicated blend of shame and relief. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the room's silent tension. The air is thick with unspoken words, a heavy atmosphere hanging between them. A palpable sense of unspoken history and unresolved emotions fills the room. Menelaus, sword gleaming, stands amidst the carnage, a lone figure amidst the fallen. His gaze sweeps across the blood-soaked battlefield, a hawk searching for its prey. The harsh sunlight reflects off the crimson ground, painting a grim portrait of war. He scans the horizon, his eyes narrowed with a burning desire for vengeance. A unified roar rises from the Greek army, a ferocious demand for retribution. The air vibrates with the cries for Paris's blood, a symphony of rage and loss. High atop the walls of Troy, soldiers survey the ravaged battlefield, their faces grim. A sea of Trojan faces, etched with worry, scan the horizon, seeking answers in the aftermath of battle. Whispers snake through the ranks, hushed voices weaving tales of Paris's improbable escape. Uncertainty hangs heavy in the air as the soldiers grapple with the events that unfolded. The towering walls stand as silent witnesses to the turmoil and speculation below. On the battlefield, the fragile truce shatters, replaced by a storm of accusations between Greeks and Trojans. Voices echo across the blood-soaked field as tensions escalate, the air thick with impending violence. Swords are drawn, glinting menacingly, and shields clash, signaling the descent into war. The drums of war beat, their rhythm a primal call to arms, drowning out any hope of peace. On the plains of Troy, armies collide in a brutal clash. The air is thick with the sounds of war, steel against steel, the screams of the dying. Men fall, their lifeblood staining the earth a deeper red. Each fallen warrior marks a tragic end to a tale untold. The relentless battle continues, a dance of death under the unforgiving sun. Flickering lamplight paints the tent walls with shadows as Agamemnon sits, worry carving lines into his face. Menelaus explodes with rage, pacing like a caged lion. I cannot believe it! My own wife! With him! Agamemnon's voice cuts through the fury, a plea for reason. Brother, you must control your rage. Menelaus's face contorts with fury. She has dishonored me. This is an insult that cannot be ignored. In the dimness of the bedroom, Paris and Helen lie still, distant battle sounds a haunting echo. Helen's gaze is fixed on the ceiling, her thoughts a mystery in the soft, diffused light. The faint sounds of war serve as a constant, unsettling reminder outside their chamber. Paris lies beside her, the tension of the unseen battle heavy in the air. Her expression remains unreadable, a mask of serenity or perhaps deep turmoil. The night deepens, the fate of a kingdom hanging in the balance just beyond their walls. Dust and blood mingle on the plains of Troy as another warrior falls, his lifeblood staining the parched earth. The sun beats down mercilessly on the battlefield, casting long, grim shadows over the fallen. A lone helmet lies abandoned, a silent testament to the brutal, unending conflict. Ravens circle overhead, their shadows a constant reminder of the death that permeates the air. Weary soldiers clash, their faces etched with exhaustion and despair, locked in a dance of death. The war drags on, an endless cycle of violence and loss, consuming all in its path. In the Greek camp, a messenger approaches a family consumed by grief, their faces a canvas of sorrow and weariness. Each member huddles together, seeking solace in shared despair. The messenger bears a scroll, its frayed edges hinting at the grim news it contains. The scroll speaks of battles lost, heroes fallen. The family's world crumbles further as the messenger delivers his solemn message. Their sorrow deepens, etched into their very beings. Upon Olympus, the gods gather, their faces like masks, untouched by pity or remorse. From their celestial perch, they observe the battle, detached from the mortal's agony. A distant panorama of war unfolds beneath them, a stage set for divine amusement. Indifference reigns as they watch the destruction, their eyes reflecting the coldness of the heavens. The gods remain unmoved, their power a silent testament to the futility of mortal struggle. Sunlight floods Paris's bedroom, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Paris stands, bow in hand, a solitary figure against the bright morning light. He practices archery, but his movements are hesitant, lacking their former confidence. His face is etched with the haunting memory of the duel, a shadow of fear lingering. Doubt clouds his eyes as he lifts the bow, a visible struggle within. The weight of his cowardice presses down on him, heavy and inescapable. On the battlefield, Hector advances, his strength and strategy a stark contrast to the surrounding chaos. A true hero, Hector leads the Trojan army, his movements a dance of power amidst the carnage. Hector is a beacon of courage, a singular force amidst the brutal landscape. His presence commands the field, a testament to his unwavering resolve. Sunlight floods Helen's chambers, illuminating dust and highlighting the ornate details of her secluded world. Helen reclines on a velvet chaise, her face a canvas of longing and quiet resignation. Below, the bustling city sprawls a vibrant world from which she feels increasingly estranged. Torn between duty and desire, Helen battles the weight of her responsibilities, a tangible burden. Under a relentless sun, the plains of Troy bake, dust swirling around the feet of unseen warriors. The war stretches on, an unending torment, where days blur into a monotonous cycle of violence. Each sunrise brings no promise of victory, only the grim reality of another day soaked in blood. With every soldier that falls, a piece of hope is extinguished, dimming the spirits of those who remain. The endless plains mirror the endless conflict, a desolate landscape reflecting the despair of war. Agamemnon sits at the war table, his face etched with worry as he contemplates the endless war. Maps and battle plans cover the table, a testament to the strategies considered and discarded. His brow is furrowed, eyes searching for a new tactic that could finally bring victory. Desperation hangs heavy in the tent as Agamemnon seeks a way to end the relentless conflict. Sunlight streams into Paris's bedroom, casting a warm glow over his restless sleep. He tosses and turns, his face etched with a deep, unspoken torment. In his dream, a duel replays, the sting of humiliation cutting through his subconscious. The memory is fresh, a raw wound that refuses to heal in the sanctuary of sleep. His brow furrows, lost in the silent battle of his troubled mind. Upon Olympus, Aphrodite's laughter rings out, a celestial sound amidst the grand theater of the gods. Her radiant eyes are fixed on the mortal realm, where the Trojan War unfolds like a tragic play. A sweeping view reveals armies clashing, heroes dueling, and the epic siege of Troy under a vast sky. Aphrodite's amusement is a stark contrast to the devastation below, highlighting her detached, divine perspective. The heavens resonate with her carefree joy, indifferent to the mortal suffering she observes with such fascination. The battlefield is chaos, a symphony of clashing steel and desperate cries as soldiers fall. A Greek soldier collapses, his armor a heavy burden as he hits the blood-soaked earth. His gauntleted hand reaches out, fingers digging into the dirt as life slips away. A desperate gasp escapes his lips, the taste of iron and dust filling his lungs. His eyes search the smoke-filled sky, a silent plea for salvation in the carnage. With a final, heart-wrenching cry, he whispers, "My family." Sunlight floods Helen's chamber, highlighting the solitude of her despair. Helen sits on her bed, her body racked with sobs, each tear a reflection of her profound guilt. The silence of the room amplifies the sound of her weeping, a stark testament to her inner turmoil. Her shoulders shake violently as she succumbs to the weight of her despair. Draped in dark fabrics, Trojan women line the high walls, their sorrow a palpable weight. Tears carve paths down their faces, each drop a testament to the war's relentless toll. A chorus of mournful cries rises from the walls, a lament echoing across the desolate plains. Their grief-stricken eyes search the battlefield, seeking lost sons and husbands in vain. Flickering oil lamps cast long shadows across Agamemnon's tent, illuminating scattered maps of war. Menelaus stands amidst the chaos, his face a mask of grief and barely contained fury. His eyes blaze with vengeful fire in the dim light. A low growl rumbles from his chest, a promise of retribution echoing in the tent. "I vow revenge," Menelaus vows, his voice heavy with anguish. "My heart is filled with hatred." In the dim light of her bedroom, Paris seeks solace, her face etched with worry. She reaches for Helen, desperate for a comforting embrace. But even in Helen's arms, peace remains elusive, a distant dream. Paris's eyes reflect a deep-seated unease, her mind far from tranquil. The silence of the room amplifies her inner turmoil. A restless night stretches ahead, filled with unspoken fears. Upon Olympus, bathed in starlight, the gods gather at a table, overflowing with ambrosia and nectar. Laughter echoes through the divine halls as they revel in their eternal existence, carefree and majestic. Golden goblets are raised in celebration, each sip a toast to their timeless power and dominion. Music swells, a symphony of divine joy, as the gods feast, oblivious to the mortal world below. Their faces glow with immortal glee, detached from the strife and sorrows that plague humanity. Achilles enters the battlefield, a figure of wrath. His face, a rigid mask, reflects a storm of fury. His eyes burn, ignited with unmatched rage. The battlefield awaits his wrath. Bathed in morning light, Helen stands by the window, the delicate fabric of her gown shimmering. Her gaze drifts to Achilles in the courtyard below, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. A subtle shift in her expression reveals a profound understanding. A chilling certainty dawns. The war is on the cusp of irreversible change. On the blood-soaked battlefield, Achilles moves like a god of war, his rage a tempest against the Trojan lines. Each swing of his spear leaves devastation in its wake. Trojan soldiers fall before him, their courage shattered by the sheer force of his onslaught. The air is thick with the cries of the dying and the clash of steel. Achilles presses forward, an unstoppable force of destruction. Paris's room is his refuge, but fear has found him. He cowers, the name Achilles, a venomous whisper in his mind. Terror grips him, painting his face with stark dread. Each shadow dances with the phantom of the legendary warrior. Paris trembles, a fragile figure consumed by the looming threat. High atop Mount Olympus, bathed in golden sunlight, Athena watches over the battlefield. Her divine presence guides Achilles, a whisper of strategy in his ear. Achilles, a whirlwind of bronze and fury, moves with unnatural speed. Each strike is precise, each parry flawless, as Athena's wisdom flows through him. His enemies falter, their strength and courage failing against the tide of his might. Victory is assured, painted in blood and glory under the watchful gaze of the gods. On the blood-soaked battlefield, Hector stands resolute, the fate of Troy etched on his face. Across the scarred earth, Achilles appears, a vision of merciless might. Sunlight flares on polished armor, turning the warriors into figures of legend. A heavy silence descends, broken only by the distant cries of the dying. Hector and Achilles lock eyes, a silent vow exchanged amidst the looming clash. The air crackles with anticipation, the world holding its breath for the storm to break. Achilles, a whirlwind of fury, towers over Hector's still form amidst the carnage of the battlefield. A guttural cry rips through the air as Achilles desecrates Hector's body, preparing it for a brutal fate. Hector's body is bound to the chariot, a grim trophy of Achilles' wrath. The horses bolt, dragging Hector's lifeless form across the blood-soaked earth. A cloud of dust and despair rises, a haunting testament to the brutality of war and Achilles' vengeance. Mournful cries rise from Troy's high walls, each sob a lament for lost glory and a fallen hero. Faces etched with despair, the Trojans gather, their eyes reflecting the darkness that has enveloped their city. Hector's lifeless body lies in state, a stark reminder of their shattered hope. Grief hangs heavy, a suffocating pall, silencing the once vibrant heart of Troy. Sunlight streams into Paris's bedroom, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air as he sits on the bed's edge, head in hands. A flicker of guilt shadows his face, a fleeting darkness in the otherwise bright and airy room. The weight of responsibility presses down on him. He knows he is responsible for Hector's death. Upon Olympus, the gods gather, their immortal gazes fixed on the mortal world below. A mixture of sorrow and dark excitement flickers across their divine faces as they watch Hector's tragic fate unfold. The grand tragedy plays out as the gods observe. From their lofty vantage point, they bear witness to the fall of a hero. Beneath the harsh sun, the battlefield stretches a stage of dust and despair where shadows dance with death. Achilles, a figure of relentless fury, drags Hector's lifeless form across the blood-soaked ground. Each pull is a desecration, each dragging motion a hammer blow against the heart of Troy. The Trojans watch, their faces contorted with a mixture of anguish and incandescent rage. A collective roar begins to build, a symphony of defiance rising from the ashes of sorrow and defeat. Torches flicker, casting shadows across Priam's palace, where a somber atmosphere fills the grand hall. Age etched deep in his face, Priam kneels, his weary eyes reflecting the dim torchlight. Before him stands Achilles, a formidable presence amidst the dancing shadows. The silence is heavy, broken only by the crackle of flames, marking a pivotal moment. An unspoken plea hangs in the air, as the fate of kings and heroes balances precariously. Under the starlit sky, Achilles' face is a canvas of sorrow and respect, as he stands over Hector's body. His strong hands, once clenched in fury, now loosen their grip, allowing a father's grief to unfold. Priam, his eyes brimming with tears, reaches out, his aged hands trembling as they seek his fallen son. The Greek camp holds its breath, the silence amplifying the weight of loss and the dawn of understanding. In a tender embrace, Priam cradles Hector, a poignant tableau of love amidst the ravages of war. The night watches as father and son are reunited in sorrow, a moment of humanity piercing the heart of conflict. Troy is shrouded in sorrow, a city silenced by grief. A hush falls over the streets, broken only by soft weeping. Hector lies in state, a fallen hero mourned by all. His family and warriors gather, paying their final respects. The weight of loss hangs heavy in the air. Paris stands alone by the window, the city's sound softened, his silhouette framed by the bright daylight. His intense gaze is fixed on the distant funeral procession, a stark contrast to the quiet isolation of his room. He remains a solitary figure, detached, as life and death play out in the streets below. The muted sounds of the city emphasize his profound sense of loneliness and separation. Upon Olympus, gods recline on clouds of spun gold, their divine faces betraying an overwhelming boredom. An atmosphere of ennui permeates the air, thick as nectar. Zeus idly spins thunderbolts, a flicker of mischief in his ancient eyes. Aphrodite languidly adjusts her golden girdle, a new scheme brewing in her mind. Each deity contemplates fresh chaos for the mortal realm, a symphony of divine mischief about to unfold. The battlefield roars, a symphony of clashing steel and desperate cries under the unforgiving sun. Trojan warriors, their armor stained with blood and grime, fight on with weary resignation. Despair etches deep lines on their faces, reflecting the broken spirit of a city under siege. Their movements are sluggish, each step heavy with the weight of impending defeat. Once proud banners of Troy hang limp, mirroring the drooping shoulders of the men who bear them. Sunlight bathes the Greek camp as Odysseus, a warrior etched with battle, surveys his eager soldiers. A hush falls as Odysseus begins to speak, his voice a low rumble, promising daring and victory. His weathered hand gestures, outlining the audacious plan taking shape in his mind. The soldiers lean in, their faces a mix of anticipation and awe, as Odysseus reveals his plan. Odysseus details the plan: to infiltrate Troy using a giant wooden horse. Under the blazing sun, Greek soldiers toil on the sandy beach. A colossal wooden horse takes shape, its massive form a testament to their labor. The hollow belly of the beast conceals a secret. Armed soldiers huddle within, hidden from prying eyes. A deceptive calm settles over the scene, masking the impending deception. The wooden horse stands as a silent promise of victory. The beach stretches, silent and vast, as the Greek fleet departs, their dark sails stark against the bright sky. Empty shores suggest a ruse, as the Greek ships become mere specks on the horizon. The wind fills the sails, carrying the fleet away, leaving behind an illusion of retreat. Waves crash gently on the now deserted beach, whispering secrets of battles yet to come. A lone seagull cries overhead, the only witness to the Greek strategic withdrawal. The sun beats down on the golden sands, indifferent to the drama unfolding on the sea. Under the sun, the colossal wooden horse looms before Troy's formidable walls, an alien monument amidst familiar stone. Trojan soldiers, clad in bronze armor, encircle the horse, their expressions a mix of wonder and apprehension. Sunlight flashes on their helmets, illuminating faces etched with doubt as they argue. Gestures fly as animated debates ignite, the city's destiny hanging precariously in the balance. A palpable tension fills the air as the Trojans consider the mysterious gift, unaware of the danger within. Inside Priam's palace, the grand hall buzzes with activity. a stark contrast to Cassandra's growing dread. Cassandra's eyes, wide and haunted, reflect a chilling premonition. Her face pale with fear, she gestures wildly, her movements frantic as she tries to convey the impending doom. Her voice rises above the palace's clamor, sharp and desperate. "Do not bring the horse inside the city," Cassandra cries, her warning laced with terror. Her words hang in the air, a desperate plea against the celebratory atmosphere. Under the cloak of night, the Trojans haul the colossal wooden horse, a deceptive trophy, towards the city gates. Torches flicker, casting eerie, elongated shadows that dance ominously against the ancient stone walls. A cacophony of cheers erupts, celebrating what they believe to be a triumphant victory. Unaware of the lurking danger, their faces are alight with the false promise of peace and security. The massive horse crosses the threshold, sealing their fate with each echoing step. Bonfires blaze, shadows dance in Troy, as Trojans celebrate, unaware of the danger hidden within their walls. Laughter echoes through the high-walled city, the scent of roasting meat mingling with flowing mead. Unbeknownst to the revelers, a deceptive gift conceals a grave threat, a silent doom lurking in the night. Inside the Trojan horse, destiny awaits, masked by victory's cheers. Inside the wooden horse, cramped and dark, Greek soldiers emerge, their faces grim in the dim light. Swords glint softly as they move with practiced efficiency, a silent promise of the night to come. Muscles strain as they locate the release mechanism, the weight of destiny heavy on their shoulders. With a final heave, they unleash the gate, and the invasion begins under the cloak of night. Under the cover of night, the Greek army silently infiltrates Troy. Swords gleam in the dim moonlight, a deadly promise carried in the still night. Screams shatter the silence as the sleeping Trojans meet a brutal awakening. Relentless in their assault, the Greeks unleash chaos upon the city. Flickering torchlight dances across the marble floor, casting long, eerie shadows in Priam's fallen palace. The air hangs heavy with the metallic tang of blood and the fading echoes of battle. Grim Greek soldiers, battle-worn and weary, stand guard over the lifeless body of Priam. The crown of Troy lies discarded, a gleaming symbol of a dynasty brought to its knees. Silence descends, broken only by the crackling torches, marking the end of an era. Night envelops Paris's room, casting long shadows that dance with the dim light. Paris attempts to raise his arms in defense, a flicker of fear in his wide eyes, but a swift, unseen force overwhelms him, shattering his fragile resistance. His hands flail uselessly, grasping at nothing as he loses control. A look of dawning horror spreads across Paris's face, a silent scream trapped in his throat. Defeated and helpless, he is consumed by the encroaching darkness. Troy burns, a city ablaze against the night. Flames engulf the towering walls, casting long, dancing shadows across the battlefield. The night sky glows with the inferno's rage, a beacon of destruction visible for miles. Smoke billows, choking the air as the once proud city crumbles into ash. Sparks fly like embers, rising into the darkness. The air crackles with heat, the scent of burning wood and despair heavy on the wind. Shadows dance in Helen's opulent chambers, filtered light painting the scene with secrets and unspoken desires. In the doorway, Menelaus stands silhouetted, a sentinel of sorrow and conflicted emotions. His face, a canvas of anger and grief, is etched with the weight of betrayal and heartbreak. A flicker of something akin to love betrays the depth of his internal conflict. The dim light reveals a man torn between rage and lingering affection in the quiet of Helen's chambers. Under the cloak of night, Troy burns, its skyline ablaze with furious, uncontrollable flames. The Greek army storms through the fallen city, their silhouettes stark against the inferno. Shadows dance wildly, as looters pillage homes, claiming spoils under the fiery sky. The air is thick with smoke and the scent of destruction as Troy succumbs to the invaders. Upon Olympus, the gods bear witness as flames engulf Troy, the inferno painting the night sky with hues of destruction. Below, the once proud city crumbles, a testament to their divine game's devastating conclusion. A heavy silence descends, each god reflecting upon the mortal chaos they've unleashed. Shadows lengthen across their faces, a somber acknowledgement of the end of an era. As the sun rises, the Greek fleet departs, their silhouettes stark against the horizon. Troy lies in ruins, a smoldering testament to a decade of war and relentless siege. Smoke billows from the fallen city, a haunting pyre beneath the dawn's glow. Gentle waves caress the beach, slowly erasing the footprints of the departing army. The sea whispers tales of victory and loss, carrying away the echoes of a fallen kingdom. Beneath the radiant sun, Menelaus and Helen sail towards Greece, the endless sea stretching before them. The bright sky belies the uncertainty that shrouds their journey home, a silent tension filling the air. Each wave carries them closer, yet the weight of their past actions casts a long shadow on the water. The vast sea mirrors the emotional distance, a voyage fraught with unspoken anxieties and looming consequences. The plains of Troy stretch out, silent and still. The echoes of war fade into the vast emptiness. Sunlight bathes the fields, casting long shadows where heroes once clashed. A lone, broken chariot lies abandoned, a stark reminder of the battles fought. The wind whispers through the tall grass, carrying tales of glory and loss across the desolate plains. Before the imposing temple, Menelaus stands, his face a mask as he begins the ancient sacrificial rites. Smoke ascends, a silent offering to the heavens, yet Menelaus remains untouched, a void within. The sun casts long shadows, highlighting the emptiness in Menelaus's eyes, a stark contrast to the sacred ritual. He performs the motions, a hollow echo of faith, with no gratitude, only the heavy weight of his own despair. Menelaus and Helen enter their palace, the grand hall echoing with silence. Shadows dance like ghosts of Troy. The vast space feels empty, a stark reminder of battles fought and losses endured. Weariness is etched onto their faces, a mirror reflecting the heavy burden of their shared history. A palpable silence hangs in the air, thick with unspoken memories and lingering grief. Paris lies still, a poisoned arrow piercing his chest, eyes fixed on the ornate ceiling. The lavish bedroom, a backdrop to tragedy, whispers of lost grandeur and faded dreams. Aphrodite kneels beside the bed, her divine beauty veiled by the shadow of grief. Tears cascade down her face, each drop a testament to immortal sorrow. She cradles Paris's head, her touch a futile attempt to reverse fate's cruel hand. The room is silent, save for Aphrodite's sobs, a lament echoing in the hallowed space. Upon Olympus, the gods revel, their forms radiant against the endless sky, untouched by mortal concerns. Their laughter rings through the cloud-piercing palaces, a sound both grand and devoid of earthly warmth. Engrossed in celestial games, they cast indifferent glances upon the world below. The mortal realm, once a stage for divine drama, now fades into a distant, insignificant plaything. Olympus stands as a testament to eternal joy, untouched by the shadows of human fate. The echoes of godly amusement fade into the vast expanse, leaving mortals to their own devices.